Kelly, please unmute.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Franklin and to the mountains of Western North Carolina and Northeast Georgia. We are a lay-led congregation of progressive minds and caring connections, where all who come with open minds and kind hearts are welcome. My name is Callie Lefevre. I joined this fellowship last summer, and I am pleased to be your service leader today. I'm joined this morning by Annette Watlington as our Zoom stage manager and Jude Lowry coordinating our music. Music today is courtesy of the River of Grass Unitarian Universalist Congregation in South Florida, giving my Franklin friends a chance to meet some of my Florida friends. We invite you to use the Zoom chat box for announcements. Those who prefer to focus on the service can close the chat box now and catch up later. I'll begin with church-related announcements. We have a special upcoming event, a circle dinner on St. Patrick's Day via Zoom. You can read all the details in the view. Please be sure to check the UUView for the other fun and enlightening opportunities we have to be together. As a reminder, all events use the same Zoom link that you used to join us today. Laura will now share an announcement. You're muted, Laura.
That.
There you go.
You see this mask? Says
Yes.
support
Yes.
Ukraine. And there is a vigil, a candlelight vigil going on tonight at 7 to 8 at the Frosted Palm Tree, something like that. It is at the Frozen Palm Tree restaurant. And that is on Highway 76 West, Clayton, Georgia. And it's about, am I muted? No.
Nope,
And
I
it's
can hear you.
about, okay. It's about 2 miles outside of the center of Clayton. It's out, but not too far. And the man that owns the restaurant and his wife, he was married to a Ukrainian woman who has fled with the kids to Poland. And he's going to make a speech, and there'll be some other things. And if anybody wants to make a speech, I think you can. But I hope that some of you or all of you will attend. And Dan and I are going. And I'm making some support Ukraine ribbons to wear. Wish some of you were here to help me, but okay. Please try and come. There'll be opportunity if you want to donate any money too. And that money is going to go to the Airbnbs in Poland to help support the refugees. Thank you. Just, any questions, just ask me.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that.
Okay.
If there are any other announcements, please raise your hand and Annette will call on you to share. Okay.
Looks good, Callie.
All right. Our fellowship is a light for liberal religion in the mountains that values diversity and the richness that it brings to our community. Our celebration of diversity is reflected in the variety of our Sunday services. We hope today's service enriches your journey. Today, we welcome Adam Bigelow with a message titled Spring, Sprung, Sproing. Happy New Year. Time to make your resolutions. Today's opening words are from Evan Carville Zymer, titled Our Souls Speak Spring. If we lived in another climate, our souls might speak other languages. We might speak oasis or permafrost, dry season or monsoon. But our souls speak spring. Our souls speak green shoots pushing through last year's leaves. Our souls speak flower buds stretching to sun. Our souls speak mud puddle and nest building, damp earth and worm casings, tiny green leaves and frog choruses. We speak spring because spring sings in us. We gather to nurture our faith in our own growing, our own courage to push through, our own blossoming in beauty, our own small part in the spring of this world. Come, let us worship together. Today's chalice lighting is from Andrew Hawkla. I can hear somebody typing in the background. If you could possibly mute, that would be super. Let there be light. The light of joy, the light of happiness, and the light of contentment, may it illuminate our paths and fill our lives with peace. And let there be dark, for it is from the dark places that we are brought forward, tried and tested, and impelled toward growth. It is these places that we realize compassion and learn to love. And there was day and there was night, and there was joy and there was sorrow, and it was good. And now we'll hear Spirit of Life from River of Grass.
Hang with me for just a second, everyone. Something is glitching, but give me just a moment because we really want to hear Spirit of Life.
Thank you.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of joy.
The technology gods are not smiling on me today.
I see that.
While we move
And
on,
that's okay.
I will work to try to make the next one work.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. So now we're going to move on. And we say in our fellowship that the offering is a sacrament of our free faith. What we mean by that is that we believe it is a blessing to be able to govern and support, our religious community ourselves, to make possible by our generosity everything we dream of, and to live out our shared values. We are so grateful for this. and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. All gifts of time, talent, and treasure are deeply appreciated. And today's offertory music is titled Over My Head.
Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head.
Okay, again, I'm going to go back to the source. Give me just a moment, guys, because this is such beautiful music. I don't know what has happened, but I'm going to go directly to the source. Give me just a second.
And in the meantime, we will breathe and know that it's all good. All is well. And it's spring and it's beautiful today. So there's that. Thank you for your patience.
Come on. Wrong one. I'm not muted.
You're not muted.
I'm not muted. Oh dear. Well, the problem is I've got over my head moved over there and it's labeling it as something different.
Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a joy somewhere. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a joy somewhere. Over my joy somewhere. Hold my hand, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear singing everywhere. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a joy. There must be a joy. There must be a joy somewhere.
Thank you so much, Jude. It was awesome. And now you get to see some of my friends. You'll see some more later. So, dedication of our gifts. Gifts given in love and hope, continuous cycle of love and hope and joy. Now I get to introduce Adam. Adam Bigelow is a plant nerd with a background in horticulture and environmental science. Adam is the garden manager of the Cullowhee Community Garden and the owner and operator of Bigelow's Botanical Excursions, an ecotourism business offering guided and interpretive walks in the woods, where the wildflowers are the destination for individuals, groups, and organizations. Adam is the bass player for Ol Dirty Bathtub, who are Western North Carolina's premier acoustic party band. Please welcome our guest and friend, Adam Bigelow.
Oh, thank you so much. Very honored and happy to be here on this beautiful winter morning. If you follow the calendar like our culture seems to. Thank you so much for being here. I've got this picture on my background and just wanted to show y'all. That's my house. That's where I live. And these are May apples, and these are golden ragwort, and there's some purple violets in there. And this is an old picture, but this exact scene will be replicated probably within the next month. And it's one of the most beautiful things about being connected with nature and living within the cycles of nature, as our ancestors have for time immemorial. And it's only been a very short time that we've lived outside of natural cycles. And I'm going to encourage us to try to get back to that. So normally during what is called winter, you know, in the Northern Hemisphere, and winter on our calendar oddly starts also in fall, when the plants start to go dormant and everything dries up and plants go away and the tree leaves fall off, and the mountains, while beautiful, are mostly in the browns and gray colors. And somewhere along in the middle of this dormant season, our calendars tell us that we have to celebrate a brand new year. And so we gather on December 31st to celebrate New Year. And then it strikes midnight, or, you know, 8 o'clock if you're like me and you've already fallen asleep. You shout Happy New Year, except it doesn't really feel right. Nothing seems new. Nothing has changed. In fact, if you go out and look at the forest floor in on December 31st, or you go out and look at your yard, and then you go out again on January 1st, when everything is supposed to be brand new, you'll see that nothing has changed. And we're supposed to celebrate a newness when nothing is changing. And then culturally, we are encouraged to set brand new year resolutions. This year, I'm going to do everything different. This year, I'm going to be a better version of myself. This year, I'm going to make all the changes needed for life to be beautiful and great for me. And we try to do this in the dead of winter, when there is nothing changing and nothing growing. And then we wonder why we often fail at our resolutions. Well, friends, I'll tell you what, I think the reason that we fail at resolutions, and I think one of the reasons that we are so completely disconnected from natural cycles and systems, is that we've considered ourselves different from these things, and we have adopted a calendar and a time, daylight savings time adjustments and all these things that don't really fit what goes on in the natural calendars and the systems that I like to observe and follow. So I don't celebrate New Year's Eve unless someone has hired Western North Carolina's premier acoustic party band, also known as Ol Dirty Bathtub. And the reason we can call ourselves that is we coined that phrase. So we're the only acoustic party band in Western North Carolina. So obviously we're the premier. But if nobody's hired Ol Dirty Bathtub, I stay home because that's not my holiday. I do not celebrate New Year's that way. I don't celebrate it until somewhere around early to mid February when I walk outside and I see the very first of the wildflowers to return. Many of you might know this flower. Wave at me if you can see the pretty pictures. I just wanted you all to wave. Make sure that you're all there and awake. Somebody wake Bruce up. This, my friends, is a brand new year. This is a celebration of newness, rebirth, a recycling of our energy from a time that was dormant to a time that is growing and lush and vibrant. The day before this flower popped up in the snow, there was no sign of this plant whatsoever. It wasn't up. This is a trout lily about to bloom. And I wait every year for the return of growing things, for the cycle of energy that says it's time to grow and change. And I wait every year this flower that I begin stalking, depending on the weather outside, somewhere around the first week of February in this one little special sheltered location in Moses Creek. Now, come March and right now, going forward, these flowers will be everywhere. But I love seeing them everywhere. Don't get me wrong. Watching a field just be fully enveloped with a carpet of trout lilies is amazing. But what really inspires me, what really makes me feel like there is a return of a season and a brand newness and a return for hope in the world is the return of the trout lily in springtime when the flowers bloom again. It's hard for me to have hope in the dead of winter when there's nothing growing. And I don't think that's the season for that. Callie's beautiful introductory talks, one of them mentioned celebrating darkness. And I think that's what winter is for. Sitting in front of a fire, reading books, and keeping warm in many different ways, including for me, a nice dram of bourbon to go with my wildflowers books and my wood stove fire keeping me warm and a cat in a lap. That's winter time. And there is no need to try to make changes when nothing is changing. But come springtime, everything is possible because everything is new again. And no matter how many times you've seen a hepatica, how many times you've seen this lovely flower with a really not so lovely common name of liverwort, no matter how many times you've gone out to your section of the yard or the field or the forest or your favorite wildflower spot and found a spring beauty so tiny, so amazing. I wish you really could see how small this flower is. No matter how many times I see the return of wildflowers, and I am now celebrating probably my 18th year of being in a mad love affair with nature and wildflowers. No matter how many times that happens, I get filled with excitement and joy and hope once again every year, whether it's something rare that you have to go, I have to go way off the mountain and go search out a rare flower, or it's something as common as this common blue violet, which soon will be blooming in all of your yards. And I'm going to tell you right now, friends, if you start mowing before May, all you're cutting is flowers. Don't do it. Just keep the lawnmower away. Just keep the lawnmower asleep. Don't do it. Yes, your yard too. All you're cutting is flowers. And why would you cut flowers? Especially these beautiful violets, unless you're going to bring them in and put them into the salad. So there is hope again in the world. There is a return of flowers. This is Geranium maculatum. And one after another of these flowers bloom. You can see this is the bloom for today. Right there is yesterday's bloom. And then behind it is a flower bud waiting to pop the next day. There is hope springing eternal. And it is not just a cliche that you might have read in high school English class. But it is the reality that in springtime, all things are possible. So if you want to make changes for your health, for your wellness, if you want to anoint yourself with a crown of flowers, like this little crown of heartleaf, which is Tiarella cordifolia, the foam flower. This is a top-down view. That's not really what it looks like. That's what it looks like. But oh yeah, the foam flower. Tiarella is a word that means little crown. It's related to tiara. So anoint yourself with a crown and call yourself the queen and the king of the spring and the world, and everybody can be the one that gets the baby in the king cake. And you can make all the changes you want to in your life. You can pick up and move. You can decide to stop eating industrial animals and start to seek out local foods and local celebrations of life and nature connection. You can get up off the couch and go walk outside. Even if you have a hard time walking, you can be connected with nature. You can get out in the morning and sing to the birds as they sing to nature to you. You can go out in the evening and sing back to the birds and tell them good night. You can do all the things that you thought you might be able to accomplish on January 1st, as our culture says, hey, everything's new, but it's not new. There's no bloodroot on January 1st. There's no bloodroot in winter, but the blood thumps with the exact same energy that is imbuing all of nature around us. And it's happening right now as we are in this time that I call spring. And I really love this opportunity to get up in the pulpit that y'all give me here with, thank you, Bonnie, for getting that joke. This is Jack in the pulpit. And I love having this opportunity to tell y'all that our calendar says we're still in winter. Our calendar says it's not spring until March 21st or some such like that. But I am here to tell you that spring is not a day on a calendar. Spring is not at all a description of nice weather. And the highs and the lows, the warm, beautiful days and the cold, blustery days have little to no impact on these beautiful native flowers. And you might celebrate your crocus and daffodils and your hellebores and all these other so-called winter flowers, but I'm sorry, I don't. They're from Eurasia. They don't belong here. They don't know when to bloom. They don't know what's going on. The native plants know when it's going on. This isn't a Catholic church, but that's a bishop's cap. And it is Sunday, so I'll get all kinds of preachy. Our calendar is lying to us. Our time is lying to us. And because of that, we are out of connection and out of touch with the natural rhythms and cycles. But what does not lie, what tells us the truth all the time and every year is something that in science we call phenology. Phenology. This is the study of when things happen in nature. And when things happen is right when they do. Every year is different. Spring comes on a different day every year. Summertime comes on a different day every year. I don't care what our calendar says. I care what the forest tells me, what the flowers say. So many people here listening to me today, maybe vegetable gardeners, and you're excited about planting your spring stuff. And maybe you get a little too excited and you plant out your summer things too early. Or you wait so long because, you know, the calendar says Mother's Day is on this day, so don't plant until Mother's Day, or don't plant until our average frost-free date, which for Western North Carolina is May 15th. But again, those are days on the calendar. If you want to know when it's time to plant your tender summer vegetables, look at the flowers blooming around you, for they will tell you. We are in what's called the Little Winters of Appalachia. And this is a succession of cold snaps and bloomings and cold snaps and bloomings that are a true natural calendar that tell us when it's time for things to bloom and when it's time to do certain projects and things, including planting our tender vegetables. So you might have heard of dogwood winter and different things. Blackberry winter is the time to plant your summer vegetables. That's when all the blackberries are blooming all around you. And what I love about this calendar is it's a different day every year, and it's a different day depending on where you live. So Don down there in Octo, if you're still in Octo or wherever you are there, your blackberries will bloom differently at a different time than mine do up at the top of Tilly Creek, or as y'all call it, Ellijay there in Macon County. The blackberries will bloom later. And so we can listen to these natural calendars. I have a calendar growing on the side of my house that is a hummingbird migration calendar. And it tells me when the hummingbirds are 2 or 3 days away from me, because that calendar is a native coral honeysuckle. It's a automatically refilling, self-cleaning hummingbird feeder that blooms from about 3 days before the hummingbirds return from their winter migration. And it continues blooming well after they're gone, and it provides them nectar and food. And so I know when the hummingbirds are coming back because I look at these flowers. So I'm encouraging you all today, when you break from this, if you can, go out and look for wildflowers. Go out and look for seasonal changes. Some of the first wildflowers that might be blooming might not even seem like wildflowers because they're way up in the trees, but you can look for a nice, beautiful red or orange or yellowish hue on a hillside or in a grove of maple trees and see the very first returning maple flowers. And that's the first of the winters. And that's where we are right now, friends. Maple winter, it is springtime. It is the time of flowers. It is the beginning time, and it is start of a progression that lasts from the first warm days of the new year all the way through the initial leaf out of trees in summer when they block all the canopy. And in that time, we get to see a parade of wildflowers more beautiful than any Easter hat parade ever put on anywhere in the world. This is our calendar. This is nature. This is when it happens. And nature knows when it's time to do it. And so I say, listen to her. And right now, today, you can set brand new intentions. Right now, today, you can find hope and make changes. And I encourage you to do something completely different today, because not only do I believe in you, but all of nature believes in you and your ability to make your resolutions resolute. So go off and do that. Goodness. And I encourage you to take time and look around you, because at any moment, no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening around you, I promise you, if you stop, take deep breaths, slow yourself, and look around, you will find something beautiful in nature, no matter where you are. Celebrate that, because it's celebrating you. I thank you all for your time today. I don't know how much time I just took. I'm happy to ask questions or answer questions or sing you a song or whatever it is you need. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Adam. We are going to allow our group here to ask some questions when we're completed with service. But if you want to sing a song, dude, we are down for that, always.
Sure. Here's a song I wrote on a hot summer day in the garden. I like to garden in the springtime. I like to garden in the fall. But in the summer, don't like to garden at all. It gets hot and buggy too early in the day. I'd rather be swimming out at the lake, splashing in the water and floating on my back, thinking about nothing, just trying to relax. But the weeds get tall and scary, and there's beans coming ripe. So when I go to my garden, it's at night with a light. I like to wear my headlamp in the garden at night and see what kind of critters are crawling around. I pull slugs off and give them some of my beer, and when it's time to pee, I spray the fertilizer around. I'll eat snap peas. I'll even pull some weeds until I get too drunk and it's time to lay down. I like to garden in the springtime. I like to garden in the fall, but in the summer, don't like to garden at all. Don't like to garden at all. Thanks, y'all.
That was fantastic. And I can see now why you are the premier band, for sure. That was awesome. So good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a blessing that was. All right, let's just take a breath, inhale that wildflowers. And today's closing words are from Andrew Pakula. May you know fully and deeply the blessings of each of your heart's seasons, the inward turning of winter, springtime's lush renewal, the effortless, steady growth of summer, and autumn's rich harvest. May your passage from season to season be blessed, eased by hands to hold, and by the light of love to guide you on. Our closing song is Joy Comes Back.
I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready when joy comes back to me. I've been downhearted. I've been downhearted. I've been so downhearted, but I won't be down for long, 'cause I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready when joy comes back to me. I've been too long crying, too long crying, too long crying. Won't cry anymore, 'cause I wanna be ready. tied to the ground, tied to the ground, tied to the ground, Lord, tied to the ground, Lord, get lighter every day, 'cause I wanna be ready, I wanna be ready, I wanna be ready, when joy comes back to me. The spirit get low, spirit get low, spirit get low, spirit get low, Lord. But I will rise again, 'cause I wanna be ready, I wanna be ready, I wanna be ready, when joy comes back to me.
Thank you so much, Jude. What a perfect way to end this. So you guys know I could take a peek at the chat, and Adam posted his information, his contact information in there, if you'd like to get in touch with him. All right, so as we extinguish this candle, I would like to share A Blessing of Darkness and Light by Amy Zucker Morgenstern. And Mary is behind me to extinguish the chalice. Blessed is the dark in which our dreams stir and are revealed. Blessed is the dark of earth where seeds come to life. Blessed are the depths of the ocean where no light shimmers, the womb of all earthly life. Blessed is the light into which we awake, the light that sparkles on the waters, that calls the tree forth from the seed and calls the shadow forth from the tree. Blessed are we as we move through the darkness and through the light. When we are together, we circle our round sanctuary and join hands for our closing circle and covenant. For now, we will join together in spirit as we recite our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and community is its goal. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. So may it be. Now we'll hear Spirit of Life, special flute version. Thank you, Jude. And we're all taking a breath as we wait for Jude. Thank you, Jude.